All right, folks, it is time to move on with this sign for Glen. So if you saw the last video, I'm doing a sign for Glen over at DIY Creators. I actually said it right that time. I didn't get it backwards. So what I've done is oh, where's my cheat sheet? I have done a freezer paper transfer with an inkjet printer. I've pre-sprayed my pieces. They're just 8.5 by 11 sheets. And you guys have seen this. I've done this many, many times. But go check out video hashtag 359 and LTS 8/25/18. But anyway, it's an inkjet printer on freezer paper. And then I kind of treat the freezer paper with silicone before. But again, you see those videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I think I've got it all lined up. This stuff on this kind of board, it's really tricky because I want the letters lined up in registration of the actual pieces of board. So I am going to, I've got it taped down on this side. I'm going to try and lay it down and get it transferred. So sometimes I've used a spoon before, but honestly, I like the edge on this router base or router bit template. Depth gauge. Yeah. So all I'm really concerned about here, guys, is really the letters. The actual circle on the outside, I'm not really concerned about because I'm just going to draw that in. So all I'm really worried about is just the lettering on here. And the thing that you have to take into account when you have the double layers, because there's kind of overlaps here, when you have that, you have to remember to press harder in that area. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and tape this thing down over here. And why not? Let's just tape it down 4 ways. Now the outside, the reason I've decided to actually draw the outside part, this little line, these are all going to be outset letters. That's going to be outset, but the way it came out is really super thin, and I really don't want to take any chances. Well, I'm always taking chances, but I really would rather not have it that thin. I want it a little bit thicker, so I'm going to kind of modify that and actually draw those in myself. So I can see through here. Here's the DIY. I can see where my letters are. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. I can barely see it from where it's really hard if it because you've got, you know, the brown of the walnut and the white of the poplar. I think that should just about do it. Let's see what it looks like. Again, the neat thing about this particular process is if it's not the way, if it's not dark enough in certain areas, I can lay it back down. Actually, that's not bad. I'd like to get a little bit more down here and a little bit more over there. So I'm going to lay it back down. See what that looks like. Yeah, you see that T, how that thing didn't come out really good because that's where the overlap is. Let me hit that again really good. What I'll do is, because there's so much clouding and stuff on here, I'll probably take a straight edge and a pencil and pencil everything in that I have any concerns about. Yeah, not bad. There's a little spot right there on the D. And this T is not wanting to come out, but it's okay. I know where it is. There's enough there that I know where it is. And that Y, again, I'll take my straight edge and just, but the registration of the letters to the board is exactly what I wanted. That wasn't easy to do. I'll hold it up. So
hold it a little bit more, we get kind of glare. Yeah.
So you can see that the white of the poplar just hits the top of those letters going through. So that means everything's registered all the way down. That's what I was looking for. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and pencil in everything that I need to pencil in. Make sure all my lines are exactly what I want. I'm going to draw my circle the way I want it because I'm going to do something. I'm going to do two different processes on here that I've never done before. I've been playing around and experimenting, and I got some pretty cool ideas. So anyway, guys, stay with me. We'll be back and we'll get into the carving. Good morning, guys and gals. All right, we are getting ready to start carving here, but one thing I want to show you first. That ring that I talked about on here, I thought was too narrow, so I went ahead and actually just cut one out, or actually my dad cut one out on the laser. But you guys could, if you had something similar to this, you could cut it out with a piece of cardboard or whatever. I just laid it on there and sprayed it, and I think it's going to give me a pretty good line to go by. And that's what I'll actually carve first. I always try and do the most difficult stuff first, and I think that ring is going to be the most difficult. So I am going to set up and do that. I want to let you know I've got the profile bit in. This is the same bit I've been using for months and months, but it's nice and sharp. And it's, I've got it set at about 1/4 of an inch deep because I want a pretty good wide line on the inside and outside of that ring because of the way I'm going to do the background, which is going to be way different than I've ever done before. Anyway, again, I want my layout right next to me. It's not that critical on this particular thing, but I still want it there for security, I guess. Oh, the way I laid that ring out, by the way, is I put it on there, and then I used my little square to make sure it was centered all 4 ways on there. Anywho, all right, we'll get right back, fire up the router, and get after it. well guys, that was pretty much the inside of the line. That took a while, as you guys saw, and then it took just as long to go out around and trim it up, and now I still see there's a couple places in there that I can trim it up. So what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll attack the outside of that ring. Ooh-wee, that hurts. My hands are cramping up. That is maybe the most difficult thing I've carved in a long time, holding that kind of a line. The most difficult part about this is not necessarily holding the line. The most difficult part is you've got soft and hard right next to each other, one right after the other, and trying to keep it consistent. So I need to go back. I'm going to let my hands rest for a few minutes because they feel like they're being hit with a hammer, and it's cold out here. So I'm going to let my hands rest for a few minutes, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to trim that up and try and get that to be a consistent ring all the way around. Okay folks, so I have just spent about an hour just kind of trimming up this circle, and I think it's about as good as I'm going to humanly get. There are some times I kind of wish I was closer to a CNC than I am, but I just don't think I'm going to get much better than what I've got here. It's really hard to tell until I sand it off, but I'm hoping for the best. I think it looks pretty decent. So now I have a regular profile bit in. This is a brand new profile bit because I want to cut these narrow, and I want a really good, I could put a SC50 in, but I really need the advent of a profile bit because it's got two flutes and cuts much, much better than SC50. So let's get into some lettering here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, folks, so here's what we're going to do. Because it took so long to do that circle, I wanted to start the lettering here, but I think we're going to turn it off right at that point. On the next video, we will come back and finish up all of these letters and hopefully get into the background. I'm sure we will on the next video. So sorry about my talking like I've got a mitten in my face or something. Anyway, my sinuses, the weather and stuff's got my sinuses going good. I do not have a cold. I don't have pneumonia. I don't. I'm allergic to sawdust. It's just what I deal with on a daily basis. But this time of year, it really kind of gets to me. Anyway, but I feel great. I'm excited. I'm rocking and rolling. I love it. I love it. I'm digging this sign so far. So, if you have any questions, please email me directly, eric@makeawwoodsign.com. We would love it for you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I know I look kind of goofy here, but I'm not cold. Anyway, thanks guys. We love you, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.